What child do we want to say, you can't come to this park to learn about environmental education and enjoy the beautiful wonders that this park is? I'm Brenda Robinson, and I'm volunteer here at Red Rock State Park. Actually, I work along with, as a volunteer, 108 other volunteers. We have 3 employees and 1 person that we've had loaned to us from another park. We have been told in total $348,000 is the total budget for the park. Recently, in figures that we've gotten from Arizona State Parks, we've been told that $190,000 annually in the budget is what we are lacking. As far as that number, $190,000, does that represent when we were fully staffed, or as we're staffed now? But that we have one of the most successful visitor center in the state park system. Now, the revenues generated from the visitor center, we don't keep any of those, and I don't even know if they stay within the park system. I don't know if those monies have been swept by the state or not, but we have a very successful visitor center too. Our director just recently on a news program said that she made the determination of what state parks to close based totally on a business model of what parks were not making enough revenue. These monies to operate state parks in the past have not come recently out of the general fund of the state. There have been voter initiatives to set money aside for different natural resources and environmental education, and those funds that were to be used for parks like ours, Environmental Education Center, have been swept and aren't being used. So as far as getting to the bottom, if we're going to base this beautiful natural resource that we have here on a completely business model, it's difficult to say what we do generate, because many of the funds that we do generate, as far as within the state park system, has gone into a general till and aren't really earmarked per park as far as how they got generated. So I know it's confusing. It's confusing for anyone looking at it. But I feel, as a citizen of Arizona, as an Arizonan, that we need some accountability of these funds. And do we really want to base these beautiful public lands that generate, in a study done by Northern Arizona University, Sedona Red Rock State Park alone generated economic impact income in 2007 of $17 million. So how can we in fact know what the budget is, know what the monies are to keep this park open, when all of these things are rather muddled? And I think, and even just talking about it and understanding it and trying to understand it, I think it is criminal, in my opinion, as a citizen of Arizona, to put such a resource in the framework of a business model. Because I think for all of the volunteers at Red Rock State Park, the employees who work here, the years we've been open, the children we've served through the years, the experiences our citizens have had here at this beautiful park, how can we really put the kind of monetary $190,000 a year deficit price tag on those experiences? I think that the idea of how natural settings touch us and reach to us and speak to us is just such an important part of our public lands and our state lands. And I think another thing to think of along those lines is the matter of we are all stressed right now. We are losing so much. But we can't lose these places that protect those times and that peace that we can achieve when we come to a park like this. And I think it's another thing to feel that you can come here to Red Rock State Park, get out in nature, not be concerned for your safety since we do have enforcement here, but yet get away from things and really relax and connect to something very primal in all of us. And we do need more, I think, the resource that we get and the strength that we get from those quiet times are just so important. As far as closing our parks, when we think about the cost of closing our parks, I think that's something that we just have a figure drawn out of $1 million. I don't think when you just look at this beautiful land around us here, this is a 286-acre park. Just protecting it with a fence, how much is that going to cost? How much is it going to cost in the long run to have people employed to be on site to try to protect the lands, even if they could? One person could protect this our large park here, these lands. But then you multiply that across the state system when you think of the parks that are closing. And I think $1 million would have to be an awfully small figure, and I don't think it's accurate. It's hard to imagine what will happen to this park that so many of us have loved so much if that in fact does happen. And the scenario, I think we could take it out from there, but it's just almost unimaginable to think what might happen. Well, now that we've talked about our park, I'd like to just show you around a bit and show you how, why, I should say, there's such an emotional tie to this beautiful land that we have here just outside of Sedona. Right now, John Moore is coming back with a group of visitors here from the park. They've been out on a birding hike, and every Saturday morning for many years, John Moore, who's a retired professor, has dedicated his time to take people from all over the country and all over the world on these bird hikes. And that's something we're really in an area where we have migrating birds flying through here, so our bird list is extensive.
We're going to look at this. Look over here at the coconino rockpecker. I didn't find him in the book. You're going to have to show him. And here's a rosy-bottomed skinny dipper.
No,
right?
that
was at the bridge. Okay.
Other way, yeah.
So we're headed down to Kingfisher Bridge. One time in a flood a few years back, I came out here and the water was running probably just about 2 feet under this bridge. That's the closest I've ever seen it come to almost coming over our Kingfisher Bridge. Not long ago, about 6 months or so, we had volunteers out here helping the park staff refurbish and paint the bridge to help stain it and save it. It's a beautiful area in that all kinds of riparian habitat is around our Oak Creek down here. And the area changes with flooding of the creek and with the seasons. And I think most of us feel like, very personally, that this park is just a personal friend to us and a living, in more ways than one, a very living habitat and area that changes all the time.
Hi there, welcome to the Red Rock State Park. Are you here for a little hiking with us today?